$500,000. That's the number that can buy you complete financial freedom, early retirement, never working for someone else again. And I'm going to prove it to you with math so simple, you'll wonder why nobody taught you this in school.
Wait, hold on. $500,000? I've heard financial advisors say you need $2 million, $3 million, even $5 million to retire. Now you're telling me $500,000 is enough? That doesn't sound right.
That's because financial advisors are selling you the traditional retirement plan. Retire at 65, maintain your exact current lifestyle, never take any risks. That model needs millions. But early retirement? Different game entirely.
Okay, but I have to be honest here. $500,000 still sounds like an impossible number for most people. I'm 32 years old and I have maybe $15,000 saved. How am I supposed to get to $500,000? That feels completely out of reach.
And that's exactly why most people never retire early. They look at the number, feel overwhelmed, and give up before they even start. But what if I told you that you're closer than you think?
I'm listening. But I'm also skeptical because every time someone promises financial freedom, there's always a catch. Either you need to already be rich, or you need to get lucky, or you need to sacrifice everything. Which is it this time?
None of the above. What you need is a system, a timeline, and the willingness to live differently than 95% of people. That's it.
Live differently how? Because if you're about to tell me I need to eat rice and beans for 20 years and never enjoy life, I'm out. I've seen those extreme frugality people. That's not living, that's just existing miserably until you're old.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm talking about is strategic lifestyle design. Living well, but intentionally. There's a massive difference.
Okay, then show me, because right now this sounds like theory. Show me the actual math of how someone lives on $500,000 for the rest of their life without running out of money.
Let's break it down. The math is called the 4% rule. If you have $500,000 invested, you can withdraw 4% per year, that's $20,000, and statistically, your money will last 30 plus years, probably forever.
$20,000 per year? That's only $1,667 per month. You can't live on that. My rent alone is more than that. How is anyone supposed to survive on $1,600 a month?
You're thinking about this wrong. You're thinking about living in an expensive city, maintaining your current lifestyle, keeping all your current expenses. What if you didn't?
What do you mean? Move to a cheaper city? Leave my friends, my family, my whole life behind just to retire early? That sounds lonely and depressing.
Not necessarily cheaper city in your country. What about a cheaper country entirely? Have you ever heard of geographic arbitrage?
Geographic arbitrage? That sounds like something only rich people do. I don't even have a passport. You're telling me I need to move to another country?
Not need to, but what if you could? Imagine living in Portugal, Mexico, Thailand, or Costa Rica. Beautiful places where $1,667 per month gives you a better quality of life than $4,000 per month in New York or San Francisco.
Okay, I'll admit that's interesting, but moving to another country, that's scary. Different language, different culture, no support system. What if something goes wrong? What if I get sick? What about healthcare?
All valid concerns, and that's exactly why most people never do this. Fear keeps them working jobs they hate for decades. But here's what you don't know. Healthcare in most of these countries is cheaper and better than in the US.
Wait, really? Better healthcare and cheaper? How is that even possible?
In Thailand, a doctor's visit costs $30. In Portugal, you can get private health insurance for $100 per month with full coverage. In Mexico, dental work costs 70% less than the US. The whole expensive healthcare problem disappears when you leave.
Okay, that actually changes everything. Because I'll be honest, the number one thing stopping me from even thinking about early retirement is healthcare costs. Everyone says you need hundreds of thousands just for medical expenses.
In the US? Yes. Outside of the US? No. That's the secret the FIRE movement figured out years ago. FIRE, financial independence, early retire. It's a whole community of people doing exactly this.
So there are actually people living like this right now. This isn't just theory. People have actually retired on $500,000 and it's working.
Thousands of people. And I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. But first, let me ask everyone watching, If you could retire in 10 years instead of 40, would you be willing to live differently? Comment below and let me know.
10 years? Hold on. Earlier you said I'm closer than I think, and now you're saying 10 years. I have $15,000 saved. How do I get from $15,000 to $500,000 in 10 years? That's $485,000 I need to come up with.
You don't come up with it, you build it. And here's the math. If you invest $3,000 per month for 10 years at an average 8% return, you'll have over $500,000.
$3,000 per month? Did you miss the part where I'm a normal person with a normal salary and normal expenses? I don't have an extra $3,000 lying around. Most people don't.
Not with your current income, but what if you follow the income stream strategies we talked about last week? Job plus side business plus investments, you could absolutely generate an extra $3,000 per month to invest.
So this all connects. The multiple income streams from last week aren't just about making more money, they're about building this $500,000 fund to retire early.
Now you're getting it. Every strategy we've covered in the money classroom builds on each other. This is the end game. This is why you build income streams, why you avoid lifestyle inflation, why you invest instead of spend.
Okay, but let's be realistic for a second. Even if I can save $3,000 per month, that's 10 years of sacrifice. 10 years of not buying things I want, not going on vacation, not enjoying my 30s. By the time I retire at 40, I'll have missed my youth.
That's where you're wrong. You can still live well while building this. You just can't live like someone making six figures and saving nothing. There's a middle ground.
Show me that middle ground. Because right now, it feels like it's either work until 65 and enjoy life now, or sacrifice everything for 10 years to retire early. There has to be a balance.
There is, and it looks like this. You set a savings rate of 50%. If you make $6,000 per month, you save $3,000 and live on $3,000. That $3,000 still allows for housing, food, entertainment, experiences. You're not suffering.
But that still requires making $6,000 per month. If someone's only making $3,000 or $4,000 total, this whole plan falls apart.
Which is why step one is always increase your income. We've covered that. Develop skills, start a side business, create additional streams. You can't save your way to $500,000 on a minimum wage income. You have to earn more first.
So there's a sequence. First, increase income, then increase savings rate, then invest aggressively for 10 years, then retire early. It's not a magic trick. It's a system that takes time and discipline.
Exactly. And here's what's crazy. Most people spend 40 years working and never build $500,000. But if you're intentional, you can do it in 10 to 15 years and buy your freedom before you're even 50.
And if you want the complete early retirement roadmap, subscribe to the Money Classroom and turn on notifications. Next week, we're breaking down the exact countries where you can retire comfortably on $2,000 per month. You don't want to miss that.
I definitely want that video because if I'm going to do this, I want to know where I could actually live well on this budget. Perfect. Now, let's talk about the 4% rule in more detail because this is the foundation of everything.
Yeah, because I still don't fully understand how withdrawing 4% every year doesn't eventually drain the account to zero. Like, if I keep taking money out, eventually there's nothing left, right?
That's what most people think. But here's the magic. While you're withdrawing 4%, your investments are growing at 7 to 10% on average. So you're taking out 4%, but the account is growing 7%. Net result, your money actually increases over time.
Wait, so I could retire with $500,000, withdraw $20,000 every year, and actually end up with more money than I started with?
In most years, yes. Obviously, some years the market goes down and you might dip, but over 30 years, historically, your account grows even while you're withdrawing from it. That's the power of compound returns.
That's incredible. So the 4% rule isn't just about making the money last, it's about building a perpetual money machine that never runs out.
Exactly. And here's what's even crazier. If you can live on $1,500 per month instead of $1,667, you're only withdrawing 3.6% instead of 4%. Your success rate goes from 95% to basically 100%.
So the lower my expenses, the more secure my retirement. Every dollar I can cut from my monthly budget is a dollar of safety margin.
Now you're thinking like someone who's actually going to achieve this. Most people focus on earning more. Smart people focus on needing less. The absolute smartest people do both.
Okay, but let's be realistic for a second. What if there's a market crash right after I retire? What if I retire at 45 with $500,000, the market drops 40%, and now I only have $300,000? Did I just ruin my life?
This is called sequence of returns risk. And yes, it's real. Retiring right before a crash is the worst case scenario, but there are strategies to protect against it.
Like what? Because that fear alone is probably stopping thousands of people from even trying early retirement. Nobody wants to retire and then immediately lose everything.
Strategy 1. Keep 2 to 3 years of expenses in cash. So if you need $20,000 per year, keep $40,000 to $60,000 in savings. If the market crashes, you don't sell investments at a loss. You live off cash until the market recovers.
Okay, so I'd actually need $560,000 total. $500,000 invested plus $60,000 in cash reserves. That's a bigger number, but it makes sense. What's strategy 2?
Strategy 2. Have a backup plan. A part-time remote job, freelance skills, consulting work. Something you could do 10 to 15 hours per week to generate $500 to $1,000 if needed.
So early retirement doesn't mean never working again. It means never having to work for someone else again. But you could still choose to work on your terms if you want extra security or money.
Exactly. The goal isn't to do nothing. The goal is to have options, to work because you want to, not because you have to. That's what true financial freedom means.
I like that mindset because honestly, the idea of just sitting on a beach doing nothing for 40 years sounds boring anyway. But having the choice, that's powerful.
And here's what most people don't realize. Once you hit $500,000 and early retire, you're not just going to stop. Most early retirees start passion projects, businesses, consulting work. And that income, that's gravy on top of your 4% withdrawals.
So they end up making even more money after retiring than they did while working. But now it's on their own terms, doing things they love.
Exactly. Early retirement isn't the end of your earning years. It's the beginning of your freedom years. And many people discover their most fulfilling and profitable work happens after they retire from the 9 to 5. Quick question for everyone watching. What's your number? How much money would you need to feel comfortable retiring early? $300K, $500K, $1 million? Comment below with your number and why.
That's a good question because I think everyone's number is different based on their lifestyle and risk tolerance.
Absolutely. Some people can retire on $300K because they're frugal and flexible. Others need $1 million because they have expensive tastes or health concerns. There's no one-size-fits-all number.
So how do I calculate my personal number? Is there a formula?
Simple formula. Take your annual expenses and multiply by 25. That's your number. If you need $30,000 per year to live, your number is $750,000. If you only need $20,000 per year, your number is $500,000.
Wait, where does 25 come from?
It's the inverse of 4%. If you divide 100 by 4, you get 25. So if you want to withdraw 4% forever, you need 25 times your annual expenses. It's that simple.
That actually makes it feel way more achievable because I can control my expenses. If I need less per year, my target number drops significantly.
And that's why lifestyle design is so important. The person who needs $80,000 per year to be happy needs $2 million to retire. The person who needs $30,000 per year only needs $750,000. Same lifestyle quality, different spending.
So the real skill isn't just making money, it's figuring out how to live well on less.
That's the whole secret. The entire FIRE movement figured this out. You can live an incredible life on less money than society tells you that you need. Travel, experiences, good food, hobbies, none of that requires 6 figures.
Okay, I'm starting to believe this is actually possible, but I have one more big concern. What about my family? What if I have kids? What if I get married? $20,000 per year for one person is tight but doable. For a family of 4?
Valid concern. If you have kids or plan to, your number needs to be higher, maybe $750,000 or $1 million. But here's the thing, your partner could also be building toward early retirement. Two people with $500,000 each means $1 million combined.
So this could be a joint mission. Both partners build toward financial independence together, retire early together, and raise kids with complete time freedom.
Now imagine raising your kids while having complete control over your time, never missing a school event, being there for every milestone, no boss to ask permission from. That's what this money actually buys you, time with the people that matter.
When you frame it that way, $500,000 sounds like the best investment anyone could ever make. You're not retiring to something, you're retiring from the lack of time and freedom.
That's exactly it. Early retirement isn't about being lazy. It's about reclaiming your most valuable asset, time. And once you have time, you can build anything you want.
So what's the action plan? If someone watching this right now wants to retire in 10 to 15 years, what should they do today?
Today, calculate your number. Figure out your annual expenses, multiply by 25, that's your number. Write it down.
Okay, that's step one. What's step two?
Step 2, figure out your monthly investment amount. If your target is $500,000 and you have 10 years, you need to invest about $3,000 per month at 8% returns.
And if I don't have $3,000 per month to invest?
Then step 3 is increase your income. Go back to the multiple income streams video. Build your side business, develop valuable skills, create profit income. You cannot save your way to early retirement on a low income.
So it's not just one strategy, it's multiple strategies working together. Income streams, smart investing, lifestyle design, geographic arbitrage, every piece matters.
That's why we call it the money classroom. We're not teaching you one trick, we're teaching you the entire system that actually builds wealth and freedom.
And every video builds on the previous videos. Why 80% Stay Poor taught the mindset, passive income taught the strategy, multiple income streams taught the income side, 100K taught the savings foundation, and this video teaches the endgame.
Exactly. You're starting to see the complete picture now. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything right. You just need to be consistent over time.
Consistent over 10 to 15 years. That's the real test. Anyone can be motivated for a month, but staying focused for a decade? That's rare.
It's rare because most people don't have a compelling enough reason. But if your reason is freedom, time with family, never answering to a boss again, that's a reason that lasts.
What if I'm already 40 or 50? Is it too late for me?
It's never too late. If you're 40, you could retire at 55 instead of 65. That's still 10 years of freedom you wouldn't have otherwise. If you're 50, you could retire at 62 instead of 70. Every year you buy back is valuable.
So the best time to start was 10 years ago, but the second best time is right now.
Always. And here's what happens to people who don't start. They reach 65, realize they still can't retire because they never planned, and they're stuck working until they physically can't anymore. That's the real tragedy.
Versus someone who starts today, builds systematically for 10 to 15 years, and retires early with complete financial security. Two completely different life outcomes.
Two different choices. One painful for 10 years, but free for 40 plus years. The other easy now, but painful for 40 plus years. Most people choose the wrong one. All right, class, dismissed. But before you go, 3 things. 1, comment below with your target retirement number and age. 2, subscribe if you're serious about financial freedom. 3, share this with someone who's tired of the 9-to-5 grind.
This was probably the most important lesson yet, because now I actually have hope that I can buy my freedom.
You absolutely can. It's not easy, but it's simple. And next week, we're revealing the exact countries where you can live like royalty on $2,000 per month. You need to see that video.
Can't wait for that one.
See you next week. And remember, invest in your mind, grow your money, and reclaim your time.
See you next week.
Now go calculate your number and start building toward freedom.